Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. And today we are starting an F2 championship on F1 2021, and of course we are starting at Bahrain. So let's run through the specs of what we will be doing. One shot quali, 50% races, obviously 2 sprints and a feature, all of which are 50% length. Yeah, I've actually forgotten who I'm racing as. I set it up literally a couple of minutes ago and I've already forgotten. I think I'm racing as Liam Lawson. So yeah, Bahrain, round 1 of 8. We are doing all the races on the F2 calendar, which means unfortunately next is Monaco, and I'm already dreading it. But first up, we have Bahrain, the desert race. Right, well now I've done introductions, let's do one shot quali. Currently looking fastest is Lorin Zendelli. But let's see what we can make up on this lap. I find one shot quali so pressurizing because you can literally see the position you're currently in and where everyone else is, and I'm currently lost, so I need to change that. Oh no, I'm not, 21st. And currently Viscal then is leading. Well, it's currently a tear up between Viscal and Samaya, so I wasn't expecting that. Samaya's just found some pace out of nowhere. It's being nice and late on the brakes there. And it's this sector of the circuit that can really make the difference between being somewhere like 3rd or 4th on the grid and being somewhere like right at the back, because it's such a technical section of the circuit. But now we're on the straight and we're currently looking at being P20 then, so it keeps ebbing and flowing, but at the moment we're looking towards the back end of the field. If I can just make up a little bit of time and preferably not hit that inside curb and spin. So currently looking at sorry, 16th. Oh, now 17th. Damn, this has not been a great lap. Jack Aitken has just smashed this one out of the park. But if we can get a good exit out of here, which I don't think we've particularly got, and we're still dropping down the field, so it's going to be P18 then for round 1. That's not brilliant, I'm going to be honest, but first race of the season, what do you expect? I believe we lost time there on the first and third sectors, and our teammate Yuri Vips up there in P4, but look how close it is. This just sums up Formula 2 to a T, where 3/10 of a second makes the difference between pole and 18th. It's such a tight-knit thing. And of course, Alessio Deleda is rounding out the back of the field. Right, so my first race, if I can get into the P10, you hear that?
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do.
If I can get into P10, get reverse grid pole, that's a plan right there. Right, medium tyres, sorry, hard tyres. Common sense really when you've got a race this long. Right. Here we go then. Round 1, race 1. It's lights out and away we go. And we've got a relatively decent start there. I'm trying to stay to the very right and see if I can nip a couple up the inside here. Oh, that's very late braking. Can I slot in to that little gap there? Yes, I can. I'm just behind. Oh, hello. Who's giving me a little nudge off the circuit there? That's Marcus Armstrong, I believe, giving me a little tap there. That's not very friendly, Marcus. Can have a look up the inside, but Armstrong, well, he's giving me the room. He's giving me the room, but I just can't make it through. We're alongside each other here, and I think Marcus is going to have to back out there. Otherwise, there will be an incident. So we have moved up from P18 to P11, and that is a relatively impressive start. But we're going to have to keep progressing here. We've got 12 laps to make that progress. And like I said, if I could just get into P10, I'd be happy. Oh, that's very late braking there. Is that move going to work? No, we've got a good exit here. We're now going to be alongside Drugovic going down the straight. And if I could just get a bit more momentum, get a bit more speed, I might be able to outbrake him around the outside here. I have gone around the outside, but I've not just outbraked Drugovic, I've outbraked myself. He's come back on. He came across me there in not such a safe manner. He went a little bit deep himself, and then as I was recovering, he went across on me there. I'm not too happy with that from Drugovic. Right, coming up to end the first lap, and we are up to P11 from P18, so not entirely bad. I need to brake a little bit earlier though. Again, I'm outbraking myself, and that's going to invite Daruvala up my inside. Piastri sets the fastest lap, so he must be leading the way. And Daruvala is going to have a look down my inside. We're not having any of that. Well, he's got a run, but I'm going to hold him out around the outside. Not going to let him through easy. He's going to have to find another way past me. Right. Priority now is to try and catch back up with Drugovic. Daruvala's not letting me go easy just yet. And we do have a yellow flag. I wonder what that's for. Daruvala having another look up the inside. I think a car has peeled off to retire. And it's Marcus Armstrong, the guy that muscled me out at the start. Marcus Armstrong is now out of the race, so there won't be any points for him. Sorry, I keep coughing, by the way. Right, we're now right onto the back of Drugovic. This is going to be for P10. And Drugovic, it's not proving easy to catch. And it isn't easy because the cars are exactly alike. They are identical cars. The only difference here is the drivers, so we have to make that difference ourselves. Nobody is going to do it for us. And Felipe Drugovic, we are starting to catch to the back of him though again. We are starting to leave Daruvala behind a little bit. Daruvala not quite as close to us as once he was, so not feeling that pressure just yet. Right, coming to brake for the last corner, and again, very late on the brakes. We're going to have to go out wide there, and that's allowing Daruvala back onto me. It's twice I've missed my braking spot there. I don't want to keep doing it, because if I fall out a DRS zone of Drugovic, then I can kiss P10 goodbye, so I need to stay within that. And Daruvala having a look up my inside, but once again, giving him space, but he's not elected to use all of it, although now he will have DRS, but so will I. So there won't be an awful lot he can do here. Right, let's see if we can cruise back up to the rear of Felipe Drugovic. Not the most exciting race so far, I'll be honest, but you know. Right, we're now trying to catch up to Felipe Drugovic. And the disappointing thing is, of course, I've got to start P18 again for the feature race. So all this hard work that I'm doing now, I will have to do all over again later. But we're not at that race yet. We've still got this race and the second sprint to go, and I'm eyeing as well. If I can even get up to P8, you know, as high as I can start the sprint, the higher the better. Second sprint, the higher the better. I do not want to be starting at 11th. If I can get into the top 10, at least I know I'll have a decent starting position. Right, if I can just get this braking spot right, we might actually have a chance. And that's a better run through there. And hopefully that will prevent Daruvala from having a look, but we can now just cruise up a little bit closer to the behind of Drugovic. As he's cruising up on Porsche. This is the problem that we've got now though, is that we are in a DRS train, so overtaking here is going to be a little bit tricky. We're going to have to try and find a way to get right behind Drugovic and then absolutely send it on him. So that's the plan for now. Catch Drugovic, go full send, and hope for the best. Still up 7 positions from our starting position, don't forget, so not a bad place to start from at all. And actually, I think we can send one on Drugovic right here, down the inside. This isn't normally an overtaking spot, but we have made it one. We've got into the top 10. We're up into P10, ahead of Felipe Drugovic, and we are 2 places now away from scoring a singular point, or what might be 3 points if we can nail the fastest lap down as well. So we are now ahead of Drugovic, and while P10 does not give you any specific reward, it gives you pole position for the second sprint race in the 2021 race. So that reward in itself has merit, but I am going to try and catch Théo Pourchaire, who is in P9, sorry, and I have got Drugovic trying to catch back up with me again, but I don't intend on giving this place back up without a fight, because we have worked hard to secure P10. Next up is Pourchaire. We're 4 laps in, so we're about a third of the way through the race. Just set the fastest lap for good measure. So hopefully if we can retain that, that will give us an extra 2 points to whatever we can score here. Now, I was going to target 10th, but I feel like we can get higher than that. I think we can get higher than that. I think we can get a couple of points out of this. So if you believe you can do that, why stop there, you know? As much as it's tactical for race 2, I want to get in amongst it. I want to go wheel to wheel. I want to fight. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go down the inside of Pourchaire as we did through Drugovic. And Pourchaire gives me the space, and we're able to take P9. And already we are up to our teammate Yuri Vips, who heavily outqualified us in qualifying with his P4. He's currently running P8 behind Richard Bashaw. So let's get him. Yuri, Joe is faster than you, or should I say Liam is faster than you. Can you confirm you understood the message? I think to that there'd be a very short message, just consisting of two words and 7 letters, and 3 of those letters being F's. Right then, approaching Yuri Vips for P8. And they're actually in a mini train headed up by Christian Lundgaard. So Lundgaard heads this little train, which is quite a big train if you look at all the cars behind me that are within this DRS train. And Vips is just next to pass. And then there's another train a little bit ahead of Lundgaard. I don't know who's heading that one. I'm not quite sure who's leading. I think Oscar Piastri is leading the way quite significantly, but I'm not sure who's in second place heading that train. At a guess, I would say Boschon, but I'm really not sure. Pourchaire's looking very big in my mirrors there. I think he's trying to look for a way through. It just isn't going to happen. And Yuri Vips, not going to lie, the second train, I'm not really catching them as quickly as I would like. But we're still in a good position. So we're only halfway through the race, so it's all about just playing the long game here. Lap 6 out of 12 here at the Sakhir Bahrain circuit. And it looks like there's some moves going on behind me. I can see them changing places on the map as we go out a little bit wide there. No harm, no foul, but that corner wasn't particularly good. But I am closer to Yuri Vips this time, and I just wonder if a good exit... Oh, hello, there's some movement going on ahead. I don't know who that is. I think that is Lundgaard and Schwartzman having a battle there. So is Robert Schwartzman maybe heading this battle? Oh, they're going too wide there. Is that going to be 3 wide? This is going to be very... I've got to make sure I judge this right, because this... Whoa! Oh, that's a big shot. that is a big shunt for Richard Verschoor. How is that not a safety car? That is a big accident for Richard Verschoor there. Wow, he just lost grip on the straight and went straight round.
But officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Officials aren't looking to push for a safety car. Here's the thing. Why? That IRL, that would have been a safety car. And it's just very lucky that nobody else got caught up in that as Yuri Vips goes to have a look on Schwartzman. That kind of ends my opportunity to have a look at him. Vips gets shut out there. Schwartzman not having any of that. Vips going very defensive there. I'm having to really back out of that. And all this is doing, of course, is bringing Porsche back onto me. But I'm now into a points position for this race. So I'm currently in P8, which will pay a single World Championship point here. But I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in moving up ahead of Schwartzman, because he is really starting to hold this up. He just doesn't seem to have any speed in that car whatsoever. And I feel like, oh, can I get a little look on Vips here? I can, and Yuri Vips gives me the room. So I'm now up into P7. The next overtake will be on Schwartzman, and I'd imagine this would be easy. Well, relatively easy. I'm going to try and outbrake him here. Schwartzman just doesn't seem to have any speed whatsoever, so he must be having some kind of car problem there. Or I wonder, did he tag Richard Verschoor? Who knows, but he is falling down the field at a vast rate of knots. And look at that, that is 2-3 wide there behind me. I'm a little bit worried as to what happens if someone tries to really send it there, and that's exactly what Drugovic has done. And Drugovic has made up 2 places from all that, because Yuri Vips has got back past him, but Drugovic there nearly completing a very awesome triple overtake. I am now up into P6 and trying to chase down Christian Lundgaard P5. Vips is now up to 7th, so Vips is back to relatively where he was as we now start to approach this second train as we head into the second third of the race. Vips now starting to cruise up to me a little bit, and I just wonder if are my tyres starting to feel a little past their best here. Oh wow, that's not the corner there at all, so I'm definitely, these tyres not feeling quite as good as once they did. And Yuri Vips now coming straight back at me. Now he is my teammate and I don't really want to hold him up, but I have further intentions in this race. And I think the end of this race is going to have to be me taking these tyres very carefully, because we are on 52%. Wow, that is some usage there. I'm still surprised that incident with Verschoor was not a safety car. I feel like that should have been a safety car. I am amazed that the safety car didn't come out for that. Right, 4 laps to go then in this first race. I like to think we've done relatively decently here. P18 to P6, but it's not over yet. I've got tyres that are feeling a little bit past their best. And I've got a very determined Yuri Vips right behind me, with Felipe Drugovic waiting in the wings, waiting for an opportunity to have a look, but he's not going to get that. At least not intentionally. Right. 4 to go. At this point, I'm off for thinking the best approach I can have, rather than trying to get after Lundgaard, is to bring it home, because we're looking at, well, I think it's 4 championship points, and if we keep the fastest lap, it will be 6, but I've no doubt that the fastest lap could change hands right at the end. So, yeah, my thought now is to try and bring it home. And not risk the tyres. Just take it as easy as I can. But obviously I don't want to go too easy, because otherwise Yuri Vips is going to be having a look at overtaking me. So just got to find a way to the perfect balance. And in fact, the fastest lap has changed hands. Oscar Piastri just sets the fastest lap.
The fastest lap of the race.
and it's a 1:41.9, but I've just done a PB of a 1:42.0, and Dan Ticktum has just set the fastest lap of the race now. So the fastest lap ever changing hands right at the end here. And we've got 3 laps to go of this Bahrain. Well, I don't really want to call it a Grand Prix. It's not a Grand Prix, it's a Formula 2 race. This Bahrain sprint race, we've got 3 laps to go. We're right at the end now. Home stretch. Lundgaard, I think, is too far ahead. Samaya is part of the other DRS train. Again, I didn't get to see who's leading it, but at this point, it doesn't matter really. So, we're just trying to get this car home safe. Ooh, I heard the tyres screaming at me there, begging me for mercy. I'm not giving these tyres much mercy this race because I've been on all-out attack, and I forget with these sprint races, a lot of them are looking after the tyres. Right, Vashaw's still in the race. Vashaw has just set the fastest lap of the race. I'm confused as to how he's still in the race after that accident he had. Wow, that is amazing. I would have thought that would be his race over on the spot. But no, Richard Vashaw still going out there, still pushing. Fair play to you, lad, fair play. If I was wearing a hat, I'd take it off to you. So we've just done a 41.9. We haven't got the tyres to fight for a fastest lap. And I think now is the time to just ease up. We're on 66%. God, I'm going to be lucky if these make the end. We've got a yellow flag behind us, so something's happened there. Please give me a virtual safety car, so I can give these tyres a little break. Right, taking some of these corners a little bit slower now, because this is the point to bring this car home. I'm not quite sure what's gone on behind that merited the yellow flag, but suffice to say it has gone now. I think somebody out there must have had a moment. Piastri has just dominated this race. Piastri just out front, nobody bothering him. Clear track in front, and it looks like a clear track behind. As I'm now fighting off the attention of Yuri Vips, and I think if he gets alongside me, because he is my teammate, I'm not going to fight him too hard. There wouldn't be any sense in doing that. And you know, I'm saying red sectors everywhere. This really is me just trying to bring this car home and pray that I don't get the puncture. 71% on the front left. It is screaming in protest, and wow, I'm gonna have to be so gentle on this last lap, because the last thing I want after doing a recovery drive like this is to get a puncture and ruin race 2. Yuri Vips is coming. Is he going to have a look at if he goes for the move? I'm not gonna fight him off. In fact, I'm gonna let him go. Gonna let Yuri Vips go because he was coming alongside me there, and I don't want to destroy the tyre fighting him. So I'm just gonna let him go. It's best to pick up 7th place than it is to pick up. Well, it's best to pick up 7th place and 2 points than to have a puncture and then pick up no points at all. So there was no sense in fighting that one. I let Yuri Vips go, and now we're going to have to try and cruise this one to the end. Drugovic I'm not going to be quite as easy on because he's not my teammate, but Yuri Vips is. To get a good result for High Tech, 6th and 7th, if we can hold on to that, I think the team would be quite proud of that. And also, another good thing is that I'm now protected by the DRS of Yuri Vips, so if Drugovic was thinking of sending one up the inside, he can think again, because it's just not going to happen. Right, last lap, and I am just gently nursing this tyre to the end of the race. I'm a full 1.5 seconds off of my potential time here, but I think we should be okay now in the final run to the end. Oscar Piastri then is going to win the first race of this season, and he does so it's going to be, I don't know who's in the DRS train for second, but it's for us, it is going to be P7, P6 for Yuri Vips, and the fastest lap on the last lap, potentially helped by the turbo I gave him. So that's 2 more points for the team as well. Good result for High Tech, good result for me, 17th to 8th in that first race. That's not bad going at all.
That's a fantastic performance from Prema. It hardly looked in doubt.
Alex Jakes just spitting bare facts there. That did not look in doubt at all.
I think this race was won thanks to the tire management. You have to remember, it's not just about going as fast as you can. It's about consistency. It's about maintaining your speed over the entire race distance. So being able to keep the lap time competitive while still respecting the tires, that's where they won today.
As we look back on a thrilling race here today, we can now see the drivers take their places on the podium. It's a familiar sight by now, as it's another successful F2 win for Prema.
So, race 1 was won by Oscar Piastri by a country mile. Once he got off into the lead, he just took off and we never saw him again.
And now, let's take a look at the driver's stand.
It's David
After
Beckman
all
then
this
that was in
drama,
second,
you'd
not
be
Bosch
mad
on.
not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then.
And then
Take
it was
care.
Ben Viscal in third, Gil Heisemeyer in fourth, Lundgaard fifth, then us two, 6th and 7th. And that's a nice all of points for the team, and Drugovic scoring the last point of this race, with Pourchaire and Daruvala rounding out the top 10. It's Tictum, Aitken, Guan Yu Zhou, Zendelli, who finished 15th? Schwartzman dropping to 15th in the end, so he must have had some kind of problem to lose that kind of pace. Then it's Boschong, Deleda, Sato, Fittipaldi, Nissani, for sure, after that massive crash and somehow staying in the race, and Marcus Armstrong did not finish. So that was the first race, but we've still got 2 more races to do before this stream is cut. So let's do the second race then. Let's do this. Hard tyres again, because obviously no other tyre is going to last. But we are now starting P4, Daruvala getting the reverse grid pole. What can we do here? Lights out and away we go. Pourchaire's really not got away at all there. Pourchaire just, wow, he was asleep off that start. And Drugovic going to cover there, so no way through for us there. So the front 3 are Daruvala, Drugovic and myself. Pourchaire and Vips 4th and 5th. So good start for us. You're able to gain the position off the start. Pourchaire, like I said, he was just napping on that start. He just did not get a good initial getaway at all. I'm surprised he didn't lose out on more places there. But you can see now we are nicely in the top 3. It is Daruvala, it is Drugovic, it is myself. So that's a pretty nice start by all standards. Right, let's try and break away a little bit from Pourchaire and Vips. If this little group here can pull away. So we are up 1 position already, and I am aiming high for this race. I think we can. I think there is definitely a podium potentially up for grabs here, but we need to get past Drugovic. But we need to at least hold position and hopefully get past Drugovic. You know, P3 is good, but P2 is better. So let's get after this one. Let's get after as high as we can finish, because the sprint race was a great comeback. Let's carry on that momentum. So Darivala leads at the end of lap 1. Drugovic is second. We are third. Pourchaire is fourth. And Vips is fifth. And I don't know who is in P6. I wish I could tell you, but I'm sorry I can't. Because I don't know. I think it might be Lundgaard, actually. At a guess, I think it would be Lundgaard. No, it's Beckman. It's Beckman. A quick look behind says it all. And Drugovic looking a little bit wobbly out of that corner there. The car looking a little bit slidey. So Drugovic is having a little moment, but I think he's got himself back together again, but that has enabled us to catch up by a couple of attempts. And Daruvala's now got a tiny bit of a gap, or in F2 terms, a nice little gap there, upon which he can build his race on. So Daruvala trying to get away from Drugovic, and where it's sort of sat in third with Pourchaire lurking in the wings. He hasn't really cruised up to the back of us yet, so Pourchaire, like I said, just waiting in the wings, probably thinking to himself, I hope there's a little disaster between these two, because then I can move up to P2. But Daruvala's just cruising out front, and look at him, he's already halfway up the road, so want to get past Drugovic as quickly as possible if we've got the pace to do so, and I do think we do. I think Drugovic might just be struggling a little bit, who knows, but we're still in third place, the top 5 as it was for the first lap, so no movers just yet, quite static at the moment. Daruvala, Drugovic, me, 1, 2, 3. DRS is now available, and I think Drugovic has just dropped out of DRS, which is good for us, because if we can get DRS on him, he should be easy pickings. And he looked a little bit less wobbly out of there, but we've now got DRS. I don't know if Drugovic did. I don't think he did. No, he didn't. So Drugovic not benefiting from the DRS there. But I feel like Drugovic is having a slightly better lap so far in comparison to Daruvala. And I think he has caught up to within that 1 second, just looking at the gap. So I think Drugovic very soon will be benefiting from this DRS. But again, we're now in, like I said, it's the DRS train that's beginning to form. And once you're in the DRS train, it makes it a little bit harder to overtake, because the car in front of you is also benefiting from the use of DRS, which makes it harder to catch up, because if he wasn't benefiting, he wouldn't have that little bit of extra speed on the straights, which makes it easier for us to catch him. So we're going to have to get particularly close where we can slipstream him and then overtake him. Top 3 looking like it's starting to concertina a little bit. Drugovic coming back at Daruvala a little bit. And Pourchaire just dropping off a little bit now. So I wonder if Pourchaire is going to be part of this. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I broke very, very late there. And I had to avoid smashing into Drugovic, who just takes the fastest lap of the race. That just proves that Drugovic is responding. Pourchaire is going to be closing up on me, wanting a little look, but it's not available there. And Drugovic is definitely closer to Daruvala now. So I want to try and get involved with this, because if these two start battling, there is a place, two places to be gained out of it, which could result in a race win. And how great would that be? Second race of the championship. But I just wonder, is Drugovic catching him because of the DRS, or is he catching him because he's quicker? Because without the DRS, it definitely looked like Daruvala had a tenth or two in hand over Drugovic. So I guess that remains to be seen if an overtake comes. Right, Drugovic getting the DRS, as do we. But he's not close enough to make a move count there. And unfortunately for us, we are at risk of dropping out of that DRS zone, so we have to try and make up a couple attempts in this last sector, but we do that round here because the AI seem a little bit slow out on that right-hander. As long as we can stay within Drugovic's DRS, we should be fine. But it's the second we lose it that we not only become out of touch with these two, but then I become vulnerable to Teo Pourchaire behind me. But Pourchaire, like I said, he's not really cruising up to the back of me. He's just sort of lingering. And we've just set the fastest lap of the race, which is pretty much, well, it's a good thing, because it means that we are closing on the front two again. And hopefully we'll be back to where we were a couple of laps ago before I made that mistake, misjudged my brakes and went wide. It's a little bit more static this race than the first race, but I am trying to make my move. This is what I was saying earlier, they're equal cars, so it's not easy to find that time unless you make that difference yourself. Drugovic definitely hanging on to the rear of Darivala. I wonder if there will be a move coming. Well, I can see there is a move coming. I just don't know whether it'll be Drugovic on Darivala or me on Drugovic. Using a bit of curb there. Alright, we're now back to where we were a couple of laps ago. So we've got to remember our braking spot here and not almost smash into him. And now we are close once again, but I don't feel like we'll be close enough this time to make the difference. Setting another fastest lap though, but again we're not close enough to go for the overtake. But I'll tell you what, Drugovic is getting very close to Darivala, and I feel like there could be an overtake there coming soon. But look at this is all starting to concertina between the front three now. There is less than a second separating the front three, and you just think to yourself, something has to give here. Who's going to go for it first, Drugovic or me? I intend it to be me. In fact, if we can get a good run out here, I might be able to send one up the inside of Drugovic like I did in race one. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a race one on Drugovic. He did try and turn in, but then he saw I was coming, gave me the room, ducked out the way. That is P2 for us. Right. Next up is the Carlin of Darivala. End of sector 2, we're up to P2. Now, what is Drugovic going to do here? Is he going to hang on to us, or is he going to drop back? 2 purple sectors, very much marking my intention here.
No need to worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
I want Darivala's P1, and I want it now. And he won't have DRS, so this should be a little bit easier. Okay, apologies for that. I needed to pause and take my drink. And now we are right onto the back of Darivala. DRS wide open, another fastest lap, making my intentions clear here. Could have dived up the inside there, but I knew that there wouldn't be any room. That is a gap that would have closed on me. Darivala's having a bit of a wobble out of the corner. Is that going to allow us to cruise up a little bit here? The answer is no. No dice there, and Drugovic has dropped off this battle a little bit. Darivala leads, I am second, but you know what? I'm about to line up my favourite overtake. Get a good exit out of there, we can do it, we can send it. I have sent it, and we've gone a little bit wide in sending it, but we have got the position.
Good job.
We have overtaken Darivala, into the lead we go. And that is good night, I am gone. Not out of the woods just yet though, because Darivala now has the advantage of being in that DRS zone, so we need to try and break out of that 1 second if we can. The last thing we need is to give him an opportunity back at us. The top 5 has changed because it's now myself, Darivala, Drugovic, Porchera and Vips, but 3rd to 5th has stayed the same. Well, 4th and 5th have stayed the same, but obviously I've moved up a couple of positions, and I wonder if there'll be any further changes before the end of the race. Darivala's still within that 1 second then, so I'm not entirely getting away here. Helped by the 3 DRS zones.
By 2.5 seconds.
Vips currently holding on to P5, so it's a good race for Yuri Vips as well. Oh, a little bit wide there. That's not how you do that. And suddenly Darivala's starting to cruise up behind me again. I wonder, is he going to have a look down the inside here? He's getting ever closer. I wonder, is he going to have a look? Is he going to? Nah, he's not going to be close enough. Oh, he has a little think about it, but it's not going to happen there. But he's still right behind me. I'm clearly not getting shot of him here. This race isn't won yet. Just because it's lap 8 and I'm in the lead and I had a clear pace advantage doesn't mean I'm retaining that pace advantage, and in fact I'm starting to build up my own train here. What's my tyres on? 51%. That is worse than race 1, and I just... Oh god, a puncture here and now. That would be devastating. So I just wonder... Do I start taking it easier now? Yes, I absolutely do. He says as he does a purple middle sector, completely contradicting what I said. 4 laps to go, my tyres are already knackered. Well, that's 5 including this lap. Alright, Darivala's getting closer down the straight, but I don't think he's going to have a look. And Richard Mashaw sets the fastest lap, and you know what? He can have it. He can have it. I literally don't care. He can have it. I'm trying to keep these tyres going to the end here. And I've already started backing off. It is going to make me vulnerable, but I'm not able to pull out a gap. I'm not going to try and pull out a gap and risk these tyres, so it's a case of I'm going to have defending to do at some point, so be it. Currently leading the second race of the day. Darivala, Drugovic, Porchera and Vips rounding out the top 5, as it has been all race. There is some serious tyre management going on here. You can see my pace has well and truly dropped off. Just trying to make sure that I get these tyres, these poor tyres, to the end of the race. And Darivala's actually quite close here. He's actually quite close.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind.
Is he going to have a look up the inside? I think he is. I'll give him as little room as I can get away with. He had the width of an F1 car there. Or should I say an F2 car, but he had to back out of that. Now Darivala's coming at me. I'm going to give him, again, the minimum room required. But again, I just don't think he can make that... Oh, no, he's gone in. He's turned in on me, and Drugovic has gone round the outside. Drugovic going round the outside and taking us both. I've got wing damage now. And Drugovic, what an opportunist move that was by him. Drugovic takes the lead as I am limping to save my tyres. And Felipe Drugovic taking full advantage. There's a yellow flag behind me. I have no idea what's gone on there. I squeezed Darivala to the very inside, but then I turned in and he was still there. I turned in on him, took wing damage, and Felipe Drugovich, while all that was going on, nipped around the outside of both of us. And what an opportunist move that was for the Brazilian. And there are still 2 laps to the finish. Anything can happen here. But we've lost the lead, and A, I have wing damage, and B, I don't have the tyres to catch him. So Drugovich, he's going to be laughing to himself at that one. And this is where everything could change. I'm still limping to look after my tyres. Not to mention the front wing damage I have. Darivala's now going to have a look. Again, I'm going to squeeze him to the very inside, but I think this time Darivala has got the run on me. I am going to try and outbrake him around the outside. And, oh, Darivala's outbroken himself there. And Pourchaire getting muscly there. And where Darivala outbroke himself, I had to brake to avoid him because I was going to try and go around the outside. But he then broke late, and that blocked off my access there. And now we've lost second place again to Darivala through his mistake, and Yuri Vips has moved up to 4. I told you it could all change in the last few laps, and it has done. It has done quite dramatically here. We are now down to 3rd, limping due to a front wing and due to tyres that I am trying to protect. But these two are long gone. Wow, these tyres fall off so quickly. And it has been a high level of drama towards the end of the second race. But I'm hoping I can hold on to a podium. Yuri Vip's still within 8 tenths, so I'm hoping he'll be safe from Pourchaire. In fact, he's quicker out of there, but look at the tyres. 70% already. I fear this is a puncture waiting to happen as we begin the last lap. And Darivala sets the fastest lap, so we did have the race advantage all along there. It was him outbraking himself, ironically, which saved his getting his position over me, because he went down the inside. I squeezed him. I tried to go for the outside line to go around the outside of him, but he then locked up, so I had to take avoiding action so I didn't hit him. And it was actually his doing that which protected the position. So great driving by Darivala, and it was doing that that held him on, and I'm down to 3rd. But if there's anything to take from this race, it's that opportunist overtake from Felipe Drugovich. He saw the opportunity, the one that he was looking for since the beginning of the race when he was in P2 behind the Carlin, and he just didn't hesitate when the opportunity arose, and he took the lead, and he's just disappeared since. But it looks like we are going to hold on to P3 for a podium and 10 World Championship points. It could have been that. It could have been a win, though. It could have been a win, but obviously, with my tyres the way they were, I don't think I could have defended it. But it's still going to be P3 and a podium, and it's Felipe Drugovich who comes out of the last corner to win the second race of the day. Well done, Felipe Drugovich. Darivala gets second in the fastest lap. Myself and Yuri Vips get 3rd and 4th, and I believe it is Théo Pourchaire that finishes in 5th.
A great win then for the Uni Virtuosi team today. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I think they kept a cool head. That's why they won today. Smooth, steady, everything bad that happened to them, they handled it calmly and professionally. That's what let them focus on getting the best out everything else. The car, the strategy, they managed to keep out of trouble the whole way around.
And now it's time to wind down and celebrate after that fantastic race. Here they come, your top three, out onto the podium. So then, it's time to see how this result affects.
Well, there you have it. That's Felipe Drugovich as the winner.
Drivers' Championship. That's it for today's race. From Davide and I, it's goodbye.
Jehan Daruvala as second, with Lawson, myself third. Vips getting fourth, so another good points all for High Tech. Porcher gets fifth, Viscal gets sixth, Samaya gets seventh, and Lundgaard gets eighth, with Dan Tipton and Oscar Piastri just outside the points. And Schwartzman does move up to 13th, so good moving by him. Let's have a look at the standings then after race 2. So that puts Felipe Drugovich into the lead of the standings. Then it is Piastri, Daruvala, myself, Daruvala, Vips, Viscal and myself. Then it's Beckman, Samaya, Lundgaard, Porsche and Jack Aitken on 4 points. Haven't seen much of Aitken, but he seems to be doing all right out there. Where did he finish that race? 19th. Where did he get his 4 points from then? I'm confused. Where did Jack Aitken get 4 points from? Let's have a look. Results weekend. Qualifying. Who got... Oh, he got pole. I did not know that. Okay, that explains it. Then he would have started the first race 10th and I think must have fallen back. Okay, that explains that little mystery. Right, up next then is the main event. The Bahrain feature race. Let's do this.
Welcome to Sakir and the Bahrain International Circuit, where the grid is forming up ready for today's race. Bahrain represents an exceptional 3.36 miles of racing. Lots of opportunities to overtake throughout its 15 corners. Now, this track has a reputation for being brutal on the rear tyres, so keep an eye on how these young drivers manage their rubber. Strategy here could ultimately determine the winner of this race. Davide, you're a three-time winner around here in 1 week, I believe, back in 2012. How on earth do you make the tyres last around this racetrack? They degrade so quickly.
To be honest, the key to the race is having a good start so you can get your car into a good position. Then save the tires as much as you can and push just at the end.
As the engineers make their last inspection of the cars, let's take a look at today's grid order for the race. An immense lap from Jack Aitken yesterday puts him on pole position, with Felipe Drugovich alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Lundgaard, Vips, Richard Verschoor and Samaya, Schwartzman, Viscal, Piastri, David Beckman, Porcher, Daruvala, Marino Sato and Armstrong, Tictum, Zendelli, Joe and Liam Lawson, Boschon, Echarouz, Nissani and Alessio Deleda rounds off the grid.
Right then, here we go. The feature race is about to begin. I want to change my tyre. Hang on. If I do that... Can I edit my start tyre? Why am I being forced to start on? Okay, so either way I have to start on that tyre. That's really silly. Why can I not? Okay, that's really silly. I don't know why I can't select a different tyre to start on and go for the alternative strategy, but whatever. Right. 16 laps stand between me and getting a good result in the feature race. This is where it all counts. This is where the big points are on offer. It's lights out and away we go, and this time it was me caught napping on the start. I'm going to try and outbrake down the inside here. There is a little gap for me to slot into, but I got squeezed by Armstrong. Thanks for that, Marcus. You really put the squeezer on me there. Oh, I'm not being given much room by Boschong. Boschong not really inclined to give me any space, so we're still in 18th place, but it's Boschong that's gained, and Guan Yu Zhou, I think, has lost out. I think he was alongside me in 17th. He's dropped out. We've gained a place now on Boschong. Next up is Armstrong for P16, and I love the feel of these tyres so much better already. Nearly lost it on that curve there, but still able to turn it into a move on Armstrong. Yeah, we got that done. I was very worried. I was going straight into the scene of the accident there, because I didn't know how early he was going to brake, but we're now up into P16, so we are +2 places on our original starting position, which is where we want to be. Now, next up is Larim Zendelli for P15. What can we do here? Can we have a look? Well, not there. Not there is the answer to that one. I swear half of these drivers we've been seeing all day. Oh gosh, look how slow he's going through there. I wonder if on the exit I can get a better run. Doesn't seem so. Zendelli's got a bit more speed on me, but I just wonder if there's a little opportunity to send one down the inside. There is an opportunity. Is he going to give me the room though? Yes, he is. Up into P15, so we have gained 3 places on that lap, and there is a pitter already. Now, the rules of F2 mean you cannot make...
You'll be on the hards.
If you make a pit stop within the first 3 laps, that does not count as your mandatory stop. So Viscal, who I believe pitted, will have to stop again. So I wonder if he's had a collision with someone and damaged his wing in the process. That's rotten luck for him if he has. Zendelli's now having a look back at me. I'm going to try and cover the inside. Zendelli's on the outside. No way through there. Oh, he's going to try the up and under though, but he doesn't quite pull it off. So Zendelli not able to make that work. Next up on my list to overtake is Dan Tictum, who is in P13. And I believe it is Jack Aitken still leading the way. I am not entirely sure. All we can do is focus on where we are and try and make a good recovery. Because like I said, this is where the big points are on offer. You do well in this race, this is where all the decent points are on offer. You get reduced points for the sprint races. Anyone who's unfamiliar with F2 regulations, you get fewer points in the sprint races available, and then in the feature race the F1 point system stands, so it's full points. So we're in P14. If anyone's watching in the chat, where do you think I'm going to recover to? Let me know. Do let me know. Oh, it's Drugovic leading the way again. Drugovic is just on fire here at Bahrain. Oh, Pourchaire's now set the fastest lap. So Pourchaire leading the way. I'm a couple of seconds off that pace, actually. That is quite depressing. But I'm also in a train of cars. And these guys are going to start scrapping. Now, I think, like I said, it's after next lap that legally I can make my pit stop. But obviously I don't want to do that and kill the tyres. 36% after 2 laps. Jesus Christ. So I'm targeting pitting on lap 5. When's that telling me to pit? Oh, between 4 and 6. But I'm going to go for 5.
A new strategy is
Be on the safe
on
side.
the
it's telling me to do it on lap 4. That's not happening. That is absolutely not happening. Oh, that's not how you do that. Wow, these tyres go off so fast. Right. We're stuck, a little bit stuck in this DRS train here. But I wonder, like I said, if I can make a good pit stop. If maybe there's a 1 or 2 positions to be gained out of that. I don't think I've got a choice there. I think I'm going to have to pit on lap 4. These do not feel good at all. 47.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
Push now, Jeff says. That's the plan. I'm a little bit stuck here, so like I said, I'm hoping I can nip 1 or 2 of these in the pits. Maybe get a little undercut that gives me a few more positions. Otherwise, I'm a little bit stuck. Tictum is first on my list to overtake. My tyres are gone, no one's telling me. Right, we're going to have a little send it here. Oh, Tictum!
For a new strategy option.
He literally gave me no space there. Literally gave me no space. That was very rude. Now I've got to change a front wing and bang goes any chance of recovering anything in the pit stops. Gonna move across there and let him know what I think of that. Oh, I'm not happy with that. Not happy. You just didn't give me any kind of space whatsoever, and suffice to say, bang goes any chance of gaining any positions in the pits. I think we're going to lose out a couple here. And that is gutting. That is gutting.
Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
Into the pits we come. Oh, Tictum's got damage as well. It was a late lunge, but he literally... He should have seen that. He should have seen that, and he gave me no room whatsoever. And now the only thing that can really save my race is a safety car. You can see there that's taken an extra 10 seconds. I'm not going to make that up.
Go, go, go. You'll be racing on the exit.
I'm not going to make any kind of time up there. So the plan... It was a late lunge, but he shouldn't have turned in on me like that. He should have seen I was there. And in fact, I've lost the position to Viscal too. So unless we get a well-timed safety car or any lifeline, I think that's my chance of points over. It's moments like that where I just want to pull in and retire, if I'm being honest, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep going. Like I said, a safety car could change everything, but it's highly unlikely that it will. I think that I'm struggling on this tyre now. Not making any kind of time up to the guys that are in like 18th and 19th, and that is Nissani and Deleda. I think some of the other drivers are now making their pit stops. Well, there's still 11 laps to go. There's still 11 laps left in this race. Let's try and recover what we can. No thanks to Dan Tictum, of course. We have actually gained a few tenths on the ladder. I'd rather not be behind that particular maniac. actually matching Viscal's pace, which is decent. Tixum is starting to catch me though.
Car ahead, but be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race.
And Bashaw is out of the pits, and he is 12.5 seconds in front. I don't know where Bashaw was in relation to everybody else.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
I can only hope there's 1 or 2 punctures in front of me that could help redeem this race, or a safety car. Like I said, anything can still happen yet. Let's try and get after this. I believe Viscal will be pitted again anyway, so I don't think Viscal is particularly in a race with me right now. Sure is though, and I believe we have caught him little bit by bit. Tictum's still lurking behind me. All I'm gonna say is try it. If you want a car left, don't try it. But if you want to test me, try it. And Deleda has pulled into the pit, so I believe that's the rest of the cars that haven't pitted, making their pit stops. As I now start setting after Viscal. And as you can tell from my sector times, I'm driving with rage. Zendeli is also in the pits. Whenever I'm driving with rage, that's when I'm driving at my fastest. Weirdly enough, I used to race with some friends, and they'd always know when I was driving with rage, because that's when my sector time would just blow up. And in fact, you can see some of the other guys that have just emerged in front of us. We're currently in 21st. I think our finishing position will probably be P16 without a safety car. But, like I said, there's still a way to go yet. Anything can happen. Alright, let's get after Deleda. It's those little moments that can really destroy your race, especially in F2. If you fall to the back, you do lose out quite significantly. Because, like I said, this is an F1 where different cars have different power.
Yuri is in the pits.
You fall to the back, you're pretty much done for. And Vips is now in the pits. I hope he's having a good race. I've no idea where he is in the grand scheme of things. I don't know how they took their medium tyres 7 laps when I could barely get mine 4 or 5, so I don't know what those tyres are made out of. Into the pit goes Viscal. And Nissani also coming out of the pits. There's quite a few cars in this melee. Oh, that looked very close into one, with other cars peeling out of the pits. I do wonder what may have happened there. In fact, I think there's still cars just scrapping it out amongst themselves there. This could present opportunities for us. Very late on the brakes there, and that has created a lock-up. The annoying thing is there's a lot of cars that are relatively close by, but I'm stuck in this train. I feel like with our pace, we could maybe make it up to as high as P12, but with the cars in our way, that makes it a bit harder. No sign of any retirements yet. Still, all 22 cars that started the race are in the race, but I think Ben Viscal had a wing change. which ruined his race, and obviously ruined his worse than mine because he wasn't able to pit within the pit window, whereas I was. I think Viscal must, if anyone's tempted to retire from this race, I think it's got to be Viscal.
6 seconds.
I'm not even lapping that much quicker than these guys anymore.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Tictum starting to gain on me a little bit. Tictum just edging his way towards me. Again, like I said, try it. You'll have no car left. I am that kind of petty. Especially when you damage my wing. Right, up behind Deleda now. So we are up behind Deleda for P19. There's battles all the way down the field, but this one is quite a cluster. But like I said, they are all within DRS range of each other, so we've got another irritating DRS train on our hands here. And it's looking like the safety car I'm hoping for just isn't going to transpire. Right, first up the ladder. What can we do about you? We set a fast... No, we didn't set a fast lap. Tim took it off us. But I think we can outbrake the ladder here. Well, he's nearly outbraking himself anyway. And that's up the inside. That's P19 gained. Next up, Nissani.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
I want to find out where my teammate is. Oh, no. Can't find out, apparently.
Say that again. We're having trouble receiving.
Teammate status.
Gap to teammate ahead is 16.3 seconds. They're on fresh hards. They're in third. The time last lap.
Oh, come on, Yuri.
42.3.
Yuri, that Vip's out there in third. Go on, lad. I'm not making headway with Nissani here, and that's quite frustrating. Like I said, it's the big points that are up for grabs here, but I've kind of bollocksed it up with the help of Dan Tipton. Six laps to go. Jesus Christ, these tyres are not going to last.
No tyre concerns at the moment. Just focus on the driving.
I'm right at the back anyway, so even if they puncture, I've not lost anything. I wonder, is that the medium tyres I used in qualifying that they'd stick on me?
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Oh no, they'd be a new set. Oh, fucking hell, that's not the corner. I apologise for the language.
The car behind has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form.
These tyres just do not feel good anymore. I'm just saying this now, if we get a safety car, I'm pitting. I am pitting and putting on those fresh mediums. We're not making headway with Nissani anymore, and I don't even think I'm pushing that hard. If anything, keeping Deleda behind is going to be difficult at this stage. The circuit is just so high with its tyre wear. What's going on, Joe? You're normally a bit of a master of Bahrain. What's happened? We're coming up to lap 12 now. The feature race has been something of a disaster. We've got 5 laps, or 5 laps left. I think I'm going to pit towards the end and put the medium tyres on and just go for a pride fastest lap. I'll pit in on lap 13 and do that. Either way, these tyres aren't lasting. I don't know. I dread to think what they're on now. 53%. Yeah, these aren't going to the end. So I will be pitting next lap, sticking on a set of mediums and going for fastest lap out of pride, just for pride. It's been a disaster of a feature race. Got in a tangle with Dan Ticktum, and since then I haven't really recovered from that, and while I'm making small headway on Nisani now, I think by the time I get there I'm not going to have the tyres to do anything, so I may as well pit, get a fastest lap out of pride. It won't count points wise, but it'll count for me.
Has just set the fastest lap of the race.
It'll count for me, a bad YouTuber clutching at straws. And up next is the dreaded Monaco. 3 races there, 2 sprints and a feature. Four laps to go, including the one we're on. I'm just counting them down now to the end of this race. It's been a miserable feature race. This first sprint race, a great recovery from 18th to 7th. And the second sprint race, we had a great start. We got into the lead, but then the tyres started going off. And when I was trying to defend Daruvala, or Daruvala, however you pronounce it, I'm never entirely sure. I always just go with Daruvala. When I was fighting Daruvala, I clipped him, I took damage, and Felipe Drugovich went round the outside to take the lead. We still managed to get P3 out of that race. Led a bit of it, but it wasn't to be. We ended up finishing P3 in that race, taking 10 points and a podium, and the feature race started 18th as we did in the sprints. That was where we were in qualifying. Made up a couple of positions at the start. Went for an overly ambitious move on Dan Ticktum, and he turned in on me. I mean, he should have seen I was there, but he turned in on me, and I took damage. Had to pit in for a new wing. It dropped me to the back of the field. I tried to recover, but I just haven't really been able to make the recovery work, so it is what it is. It's just one of those things, unfortunately, and just got to deal with it and move on from it. Right, fresh set of medium tyres to the end, please.
Go, go, go.
Let's have a bit of fun. Is Viscal going to get past? Oh yes he is, but I have got much better tyres than you, my friend. You are not keeping P21. Right, let's go for this. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cruise up behind him and take the DRS on the straight to aid me with my fastest lap. But that's if I can get within that 1 second, of course. Viscal currently over a second in front of me, so I'm not quite there yet, but I will be. Oh, Jack Aitken. That lap time is going to fall, my friend. Here we are catching Fiscal quite nicely. I believe the term is sitting duck. That's what I believe the term is. We're 8 tenths within, 9 tenths within, comfortably within the DRS. Let's get him. And let's get this fastest lap. Let's do it. Oh, he's going to get right in my way, isn't he? Let's cruise up to the back of him. I might be able to have a big look into free. Oh, we're not quite close enough. This might oh no, we are close enough. Fuck it. Sending. And sent. Oh dear, did I touch you? Sorry. Not sorry. Purple first. Let's go. As you can tell, the amount of Fs I have to give have all flown out the window. That was nice round there. Oh, Jack Aitken, look at you with your mid 41.
Lap of the race so far.
Your mid 41, sir. That's a good time. But wait till you see what I've got cooking. I swear to God, this better not be like a disappointing. Oh, that's wide. Oh, that's another purple sector. Well, if this is another mid 141, I will just question what was the point of that. Aitken's done a 141. Let's have a look. Out of the corner. Pick that out!
Final lap of the race.
1 minute 40.5. Pick the bones out of that, Aitken. I mean, yes, I'm on soft tire, medium tyres, and fresh medium tyres at that, but shh, he doesn't know that. He'll still get the fastest lap points, I believe, but that was for nothing more than pride. It's a shame that the fastest lap point doesn't count for all the way down the field. If you get a driver that's having a bad race, he could just pit in and try and get fastest lap. I want to see that in F1. I want to see fastest lap point extend to outside the top 10. Make it happen. Make it happen, FIA. I hear you're good at changing the rules randomly whenever it suits you. Had to get a Matty dig in there. Right, Jack Aitken is the winner of the Bahrain feature race. He started on pole, led from pole. I think Drogovic might have taken an early lead, but Jack Aitken took it back. And it's a great drive for Aitken to finish first. And that is some bad track extending. In fact, that's very wide. It's going to be P21 in the feature race for us. It's been a frustrating race. I've got little more to say about it than that, really. The feature race just not our race. But we've got 21 other races to go, 7 more rounds.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
I'm confident we can recover from this. And it's Enzo Fittipaldi that is driver of the day.
So after a day of mixed fortunes up and down the field, we bring today's race to a close. So, Davide, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
Here come our winning drivers then, out onto the podium at the end of a thrilling race. The drama and excitement are over, and it's time to let it all sink in. Congratulations to our top 3 today. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a good result for Felipe Dragovic, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. After all this drama,
gets extended in the championship.
We hope to see you there. Take care.
I don't know what that was about. Who did that? Who had that salt explosion there? Definitely not me. So after all this then, Dragovic takes the lead in the standings. Jack Aitken is second. Yuri Vips tied on second with him. So a great haul of points for Yuri Vips there in P2. Then it's Oscar Piastri in P4. After his sprint race win, not much. He didn't really do much after that, did he? He kind of fell off. Samaya is 5th. Lundgaard is 6th. Then it's Darivala 7th. Viscal, Pourchaire and Beckman rounding out the top 10. I'm in 11th. Then it's Vishaw, Schwartzman and Marina Sato rounding out all the point scorers. And yeah, there you have it. So thank you for watching the first part of this 8-part championship. I will be doing part 2 soon, Monaco, which is going to be an absolute nightmare. But leave a like and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are new here and you want to see more from me. I'm dreading Monaco. I don't want to do it. Thanks for watching. See you all very soon. TTFN, guys.